Greetings, everyone. Just about to do a daily wrap up for the close of this daily candle and get started building a watch list for the next session. So we have about 5 minutes to go until the close of candle. And we're currently looking at the breakout screener and we're looking at the daily chart. So each of these columns down the bottom is a daily candle. So this is our current daily candle, which is just about to close. And we can see the gray column in the middle is the market there. So it's been slightly up change for the market 1.1%, FTM on top up 9.27, and people on the bottom down 6.96%. In terms of relative volume, which is really the key metric that we're looking at, that is as well as average change, BNB has won the day in terms of relative volume. So we would expect each of these pairs to achieve 100% of their daily volume in a perfect mathematical world. BNB doubled that. So BNB managed to achieve 228% of its expected volume. And it showed in price, we came in BNB up 4.12%. Average change, OP is still on top. OP is averaging 12.37% a day, whether it's moving up or down, whether you're long or short, you're getting a huge return out of OP compared to something like Bitcoin, which is returning on average 1.65% per day. So whether you were long or short yesterday, you were making a lot more money out of OP than BTC. OP was down yesterday 4.1%. And how long have we got to go? We've got about 4 minutes left to run. So if we fly through our columns quickly, OP has a best angle of our 50 EMA. OP has the best angle for our 6 EMA, and it also has the best breakout strength. So OP is still way out on top. OP has pulled back though, but I'd say if a little bit more volume can get in there for OP in this next session, we could potentially see a bit of a turnaround in the next daily. So we'll wait and see. Score, OP is on top, and this score is made up of a combination of the daily average change and the relative volume that's coming in. So based on our potential and the actual volume that came in, OP has won by a huge margin as the recommended trade. Short term though, FTM. So FTM wins the short term score because of its high relative volume, but its actual growth as well. So the first score is weighted towards the average change, and the short-term score is weighted on the actual change that's achieved. Okay, a few minutes left to go. Let's just jump across and have a look at a couple of these other metrics quickly. So this is relative volume now, and we can see overall where the market is having a big pullback in its extremes. So we had FIL having a few massive days here, and now we've really just flattened off. We can see this green line. Our average relative strength across the market is just slightly pulling back. Okay, but there's BNB on top and ANC on the bottom. So that's our relative volume tally. Average change, so per daily candle, we can see OP has just been cleaning up all the way through since the 18th of July. So OP has definitely been the best performing pair, currently averaging 12.3% per day. 2 minutes to go. Let's fly through another couple of these quickly, and then the whole board will reset and we'll start looking at a watch list for the next session. Let's check our breakout scores. So this is basically per candle strength. So OP still on top, but generally we can see this little turnaround here. Things are starting to pull back, and we can see that in the market averages here. The strength of the market is pulling back. Our best performers are dropping, and our lowest performers here, ANC all the way through pretty much, is pulling back as well. Okay, so the market is slowly just pulling back in strength. And how about our fast EMA? This is the angle of the 6 EMA. So across the whole market, the 6 EMA is up. So generally we do have positive 50 EMA for the market, positive 6 EMA, positive breakout score for the market, which is great. but it is on a decline. So we've got to watch out for this and see what happens at the start of this next candle, which is just about to reset. So on our 6 EMA, OP is at the top and Sol is at the bottom of this candle for the angle of the 6 EMA. So if you pull up a OP chart and a Sol chart, have a look at a 6 EMA, you'll see OP has the steepest angle, and Sol has the lowest angle there. Okay, so we're closing with B&B relative volume 236 and OP at 211. So they're our best performers in terms of relative volume. And here we go. Here comes the start of the new daily candle. So I might just throw this across to change. All right, so that is our percentage change per day going back to the 12th of July. And it just takes a little while to get some data on the board. We can see Aave near is coming through with the best strength so far. The best relative volume. So near has used 0.3% of its daily volume already in the first few seconds of the candle. FTM currently 0.37 up. Here's our daily average change, still OP on top, of course, 10.69% per day. And that has dropped suddenly because the new candle has no change. It's immediately defaults to zero, so we automatically get a drop in our daily because this is based on a 14 candle look back period to base our average. So suddenly, when one of our 14 candles gets a zero on it, we're going to see that reflected there. So FTM on top with relative volume and also on top in terms of the percentage change so far in this candle, up 0.29. So let's have a closer look at FTM. I'll just go into show all pairs here in settings. And let's have a look at FTM. So volume, we've used 0.9% of our daily volume so far in, how long has it been? 1 minute. Average for FTM, average move per day, 4.2%, compared to OP at 10.72%, compared with Bitcoin moving 1.4% on average per day. So FTM, 4 times the actual percentage move per day. So I know I'd prefer to catch a breakout on FTM than Bitcoin, or even more so on OP than either of them. Percentage change so far for FTM 0.49, and the score that we're currently getting for FTM is, I think, the top score. Let's just jump back and have a look. Yep, FTM currently showing up a zero there, but it does have the high score. And there it is. XTZ has now come up with the highest score. So XTZ 1.68% of its daily volume so far in the first couple of minutes. So these scores, so firstly, this main score is based on the relative volume and weighted for our average change. So XTZ has the best relative volume, but it's not showing up on our average change list in the top 5. But the sheer amount of volume it has coming in is pushing it to the top of the list there. So XTZ, let's just have a quick look at XTZ. Okay, XTZ. So down the bottom here, this is Heikin-Ashi candle colors going through from 1 minute time frame through to the daily. So we can see our 1 minute Heikin-Ashi candle is currently green, 5 minute and 15 minute are red. And I often use these as just triggers to, once you get all green Heikin-Ashis, then often it's a good trigger that things are moving up. Or when we see a wall of red here, often that's the trigger that things are pulling down across all of our time frames. This is our volume with just a 14 candle look back, looking at relative volume. So we can see the green candles are here when we get a spike in volume. And this is relative volume looking at a daily look back. So based on our our daily look back, we can see we are actually in a nice high relative volume here area here on the daily. And we could push up potentially about 2.7% here up to our daily resistance. So there's plenty of room there for XTZ to have a bit of a run up. Okay, let's have another quick update. And look at that relative volume on the daily for XTZ. We are 4 minutes in, and XTZ has already achieved 8%, 8.42% of its daily volume in just a few minutes. TRX, surprisingly, 2.28% of its daily volume has already been consumed. So score XTZ still on top for short term and our general score. Better have a quick look at OP. Okay, so OP relative volume is certainly pulling back. Daily relative volume for OP has pulled right back down now below the center line. So we're still in an uptrend. Our EMAs are all in sequence, and we've got some awesome potential moves here. 16% if we retest our 1 day resistance, or 16% down the bottom here, 16.2 if we decide to dump back down to our 4-hour support. So we're right in the middle there, and if we just keep a close eye on this, and we're going to need to pick a direction on OP shortly because it probably will be the trade of the day once again. So OP still strongest 50 EMA, strongest 6 EMA, strongest breakout strength on the daily as well. We're not getting a listing in the scoring system at all though because our relative volume is simply too low still. So let's just have a look at relative volume for OP. Currently coming in at 0.8, whereas BNB is already 2.5% of its daily volume, FTM 1.6% of its daily volume, Doge 1.3, but OP 0.9. But once it kicks in, if it does kick in today, suddenly the result can be extraordinary, up to potentially a 10.79% move if we were to hit the average. So the way I like to look at it is if OP hits 100% of its daily volume, we could potentially expect that 10.79% move. If OP only achieves half its daily volume, then potentially we're going to see half the average daily move. But if OP has a 200 or a 300% day, that's where we see OP take off and have these ridiculous moves. So we're looking at daily change at the moment. So we can see back here a few of these OP days. So it might have an average daily move of 10%, but back here on the 3rd of August, 21% daily move. Over here, 27%, 37%, 40%. And if you look at the relative volume on these days, these are the days where relative volume was huge for OP. Over here, relative volume for FIL was through the roof. Okay, and it almost always relates. The only time it doesn't is if relative volume was high and we had a huge push up and then the price does pull back. So by the end of the day, there may have been a huge jump, but then it retraces before the end of the day. But OP, we're seeing some pretty strong moves. All right, back to final check, and let's throw a quick watch list together for the day. Okay, so I'm just going to bring up a little notepad here to jot down a few pairs. And this is what I'll be, I have a special window with 6 charts and I just load all of these and monitor them closely and look at support and resistance levels before selecting some trades. So I'm going to start off with the best performers of the day. So we have Storage and Looks. Definitely going to pull up those charts and have a quick look. And I won't worry about sushi just yet. Okay, relative volume, so XTZ, of course. And we have stores on that list, but I won't worry about B&B yet. Average change, OP, so definitely OP. And it's always good to have a peek at FIL, the way it's been performing the last few days. Scores, we already have XTZ, we already have OP, and stores, short-term stores, LTC. Okay, we better just throw LTC on there. Okay, and breakout strength, we have OP, and B&B's breakout strength is so high there as well, over 20 on the daily. So we're definitely going to have a look at B&B as well. EMA angles. Okay, so APE is actually coming in second there, so I will have a look at APE. Second steepest 6 EMA. So 6 EMA is such a tight EMA that when if it's going to be the second highest out of a group of 40 pairs, it's definitely worth having a look at. And and then on our 50 EMA, so this is more of just a general trend rather than a huge price action trend. We have OP, so then ENS. So I might just pop ENS on my list as well. So not in any order, but we have stores, looks, XTZ, OP, FIL, LTC, BNB, APE, and ENS. Let's have another quick look. FIL, average change, yep, we have that one. Store, APE, AXS, almost 1% up. Not seeing it anywhere else though, so I'll leave that for now. And how about performers to the downside? So relative volume change, so nothing is really pushing down yet. Score, here we go, breakout strength. So ANC is flat, but it does have the lowest breakout strength. Sol 6 EMA is obviously pointing down, but nowhere near the downward angle of some of our top performers. So we're definitely looking at longing here rather. I mean, we can see that we're looking at longing rather than shorting here through some of these market figures. 50 EMA up, 6 EMA up, breakout strength is up. So we're not going to be shorting into a market that's moving up that way. And ANC once again has the lowest 50 EMA. So there's our watch list: stores, looks, XTZ, OP, FIL, LTC, BNB, APE, and ENS. I'll be watching those, and I'll get the live feed running again through the day, so you can just pop along to the YouTube channel and keep an eye on the changes. Let's leave it there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you same time tomorrow. Bye.